Hello, happy Tuesday. So glad you're with us again with another VIP Day business owner. I'm Jordan Gill, head honcho over at System Saved Me and head coach of the Done in a Day program. And this amazing weekly Tuesday video is where I get to show off our awesome clients and their VIP days, which is super fun for me. While I do enjoy talking about VIP days, it's way more fun to just show off everybody else. And so this is my excuse and my way to do that. And so I'm really excited for this business owner, fellow systems gal, and whatnot. And actually, I first I guess saw her or came across her was through ads and whatnot. So ads are powerful, people. Just so you know. And again, we do this show every single Tuesday. So we have it on Facebook and YouTube. So whether you're watching on either one of those platforms, make sure to follow on Facebook if you're there so that you'll get notified when our next showcase is. On YouTube, make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell. So again, you get notified on when our next show is as well. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring up today's guest, Miss Kaci. So, Miss Kaci, go ahead and tell the good people of the internet a little bit about you and your business.
Yeah, so my name is Kaci Ackerman, and I'm a ClickUp expert. And so I have VIPs all around ClickUp in a day.
Amen. Like, first of all, if I hadn't said that you were a systems person, the way you just introduced yourself was truly a very succinct and clear way. And I love systems people for a lot of reasons, right? But when people are like, oh, you have to talk for an hour. I'm like, but can I do it in 30 minutes? I want it to just be as succinct as possible and whatnot. So I love that intro. So all things ClickUp. I'm super curious, and then we'll kind of get into it. But why ClickUp? Were you into all the tools and things, and then you landed on ClickUp, or how did ClickUp come about?
Yeah, we actually just talked about this in my course group, but so I started with Trello. I feel like every business owner out there starts with Trello. And the thing about it was I hated it and I didn't use it, which made it even worse, because if you have a system that you don't like, it just goes and collects dust and you're back at square one of chaos and overwhelm. So anyway, the very systems oriented person I am, I'm like, okay, well, this is not working. So I actually got certified as an OBM back in 2020. Mm-hmm. And when I was going through certification, I dabbled in Asana, dabbled in Monday. Neither of those really spoke to me either. And then my accountability partner used ClickUp. And she was like, you need to try ClickUp. This is, it's a lot different than the other ones. And literally from the moment I created my account, I was like head over heels.
Done.
It was done. Yeah. The versatility of ClickUp really speaks to me in a lot of different ways. And I'm a big believer. I don't know how you are with systems, but less is more when it comes to systemizing and optimizing your business, and so that you're not in so many different places at once. And ClickUp allows you to kind of do that. It starts to able to scale down other systems that you use. So that immediately was like, okay, I can grow with this. I can have a team with this. I can do all of these really fun things.
Yes. Amen. Yeah. ClickUp is
history ever since.
I know. ClickUp, we use ClickUp in our business as our task manager. And it definitely it's been tough to let ClickUp go personally. I do have a systems person on my team now, Cole, who's amazing. And it's interesting when you're not the one building it and whatnot. You have to get comfortable with how others use it. But it's been also awesome to see that the versatility of ClickUp really does help you, I guess, create a task manager that does work for everyone. Again, we have 9-10 people on our team. And so they all work very differently and use ClickUp very differently. And at the same time, we can all get the same, get our tasks done in the same way, but using ClickUp in a different way to get that that accomplished, which I think is really amazing. And I think ClickUp does an amazing job at. But anywho, this is not.
I agree with that. Yes. Yeah. I know. I was going to say, like, I could talk days and days about it.
Same. Anyway, so with your business, share with us kind of what your services or offerings, products, things like that looked like before you started doing VIP days, or if you did VIP days before all of your offerings as well, and talk about a little bit of the like results that you helped people with those services or products and things.
Yeah. So I started with retainers, and I didn't like the amount of time that it took from me. But before I realized I could do VIP days, like I was happy, I was good, but I was always itching for like, okay, how do I actually make more money and work less? Because people talk about it all the time. Like that's a huge marketing selling point. Yeah. And so I'm like, this can't be real. Like, what are you talking about? So I stuck with my retainers, I was doing things, it was fine, everything was going. But then I realized I could, with ClickUp, create some passive income. And so I started there with templates and also a course for people to kind of DIY everything. And then I also graduated into working only with clients that used ClickUp or willing to move to ClickUp. So I stopped just like, trying to work with anything and everything. And I noticed that something happened with my retainer clients, which was interesting. I almost worked myself out of a position because I optimized their ClickUp so well that it started just like doing my job. And I tell people this all the time, like when you have ClickUp automated and optimized and all these different things, it's almost like an additional team member. And literally, excuse me, literally that's what would happen. And so I started to notice like, okay, well, I'm working myself out of a job here. So now what the heck am I going to do? And also I didn't want to have like, had to log in Monday through Friday and, work on the weekend if I missed something, or if I want a vacation, make up time and all of those different things. So I saw really cool results with my clients because they were really happy that everything was super efficient. No more, things were getting missed. But then also I saw this weird change where I didn't have any work. And I was like, okay, well, why are you paying me? And obviously some of those came to a close because I was like, well, you don't need me anymore.
Right.
So I started just like talking on my Instagram. I'm like, would anybody be interested if I built their ClickUp? And that's how it happened. So I was actually offering VIP days before I entered the program. But here's the thing. I was not like, it was not my sole offer. It was not something that I was like marketing. Sorry. It wasn't something I was marketing. It wasn't something that I was like, bringing in the 10K months or anything like that. Yeah. And so my sole thing around the decision to actually join the program and really make this my sole offer is in 2021, I was diagnosed with cancer and I went through 3 different surgeries. I had multiple appointments throughout the week. I had like probably 4 every single week. And that kind of like turned the corner in my business of, okay, well, first of all, if I had a regular 9 to 5, I wouldn't have a job anymore. Secondly, I can't sustain retainer clients the way my personal life is going. And then on top of that, if I want to have a family, I don't want to have to bring in childcare or so that I can work those hours as a retainer. So I searched around and I kind of already knew of you. But the main thing that drew me to you was the fact that you were a systems person as well. And so I knew that you built a VIP day around systems, which was really important to me. And that's kind of just, it was like a one and done. I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Great. Found the person who's done it. Let's go. Yeah. So, yeah, I love that. And so was your VIP day born out of just going out and talking on your Instagram saying, does somebody want their ClickUp to be built? And that's how you like got the ball rolling?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I just started talking about it on Instagram and people were interested, and I did a couple of them and they were good. But then I also did a couple of them that like took me probably double or triple the amount of time than what it was supposed to be. And I was like in this weird like confidence thing too of like, okay, well, I just started them. So like, can I really tell her like, oh, you actually need a second VIP day? Or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I was kind of overworking in my VIP days. And then also the price point wasn't where I wanted it to be. I wasn't, there was a lot of stuff, but joining the program like totally transformed all of that. The way that you have everything set up, like opened my eyes to so many things that my VIP day didn't have. And more than just like making it that VIP day experience for the client, but also like holding boundaries and also collecting like the information that I needed beforehand. So I didn't have a 2-hour strategy call. I could just get to work. Yeah. So it just very much optimized, fine-tuned it. And now I'm to the point where I'm hosting anywhere from 2 to 3 VIP days a month, and it's my sole offer. So
it was awesome. I know. And you booked yourself out too. Was that a month and a half in advance? 2 months in advance?
I'm booking September right now, yeah, and August was booked in July, so I'm roughly about a month ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was my main goal actually. Joining the program was to be at least 1 month ahead of schedule. So I wasn't scrambling the month of,
Exactly. So
and it's working.
Yay, that's so awesome. I love to hear that. And so with your VIP days, who do they help? Is it certain ClickUp boards that you're, or like templates and projects that you're setting up to kind of walk us through your VIP day, who it helps, and then like how it's structured?
Yeah. So my VIP day serves online service providers. Typically, they have at least like 1 to 2 team members. And the reason I have not like gone super industry specific is because I love, I wouldn't say challenge, but I love the like not the same thing over and over. Like I love being able to be creative. That's what it is, in building the systems that they need. So I mainly, online service providers, agency, that type of role, with at least probably 1 to 2 team members. And kind of how it works is I really wanted my VIP day to like give them everything they needed with the least amount of time that they had to commit. Because, oftentimes when people need this stuff, they need it fast and they don't have time to sit on a call for what I do. Right. So I have a very extensive form that they fill out. And I do tell them it's going to take you like an hour and a half.
Right.
But the nice thing about it is it collects all the information that I need to where we get on a call 30 minutes before I start the day, just to clarify any questions I may have. And then that's it. And I build it all for them behind the scenes. And then I send them an email with a pretty bow, attached of all their goodies and custom training videos and some other perks that they get with their day. But for me, that's really important, is like, how can I optimize this in a way that the business owner doesn't have to be there all day? And also for myself too, to where I can really optimize it in a way that I can just focus and get it done. And then I deliver it to them and they have support with questions, all that stuff. But yeah, so it's typically an 8-hour day though. I will say that I know some people usually do 6. I just have found that 8 hours is really the sweet spot for me.
Yep. Oh, totally. And that's, I'm glad to hear you're leaning into what works for you. Like, because that's the thing about VIP days is, yes, you knew that I did a systems VIP day and was able to structure it. However, I'm not here to just create a bunch of mini Jordans. Like VIP day is the vehicle. Like what vehicle is gonna, get you to A to Z, in a way that feels joyful and light and fun for you. And so I love that you can do 8 hours in a day, and that you leaned into that, and versus saying, well, Jordan does it for 6. It's like, okay, guys, like Like, do what works for you, whatever that is. That's like
and like everything is super custom too. So like some VIP days are more organization and optimization with ClickUp and like setting up those automations, where some VIP days are like I'm starting from scratch, building literally everything, you know? So it really depends. It's typically 8 hours. Sometimes I get away with like 6 or 7, but not usually.
Totally. But it's not like monthly retainers where like you work yourself out of a job, right? Like you're like automating and like getting more efficient. And the benefit of that is that you get to work less. But then the not so benefit that can happen is, again, if you don't use up all your hours or however you have it set up with your clients, then they're like, what you doing? Why am I paying you this for less work? And then it gets into this weird conversation. So I've been there too.
Yes. And that is exactly what happened with one of my last retainers before I was finally like, okay, I'm ditching everybody. But it was basically, that's exactly what happened, was like, I literally felt like I was doing nothing for her and she was sending me large retainer amounts of money. And I was like, this is weird.
Right. It's gotten weird. Like it's time for us to work a little differently or not work it all together. So yeah, I totally get that. So then with that, is it something to where you are building a certain type of ClickUp project, kind of again and again and again? Or again, like you said, is it, okay, obviously they're coming to me because I need something set up in ClickUp. And then do you kind of tailor the pre-work to that particular project that you need from somebody? Or how are you gathering the right information for the right project that you need them for?
Yeah. So I typically, it kind of goes in a flow of like, we talk about their business first, and I get them set up to manage their actual business in ClickUp. And then the other half of my pre-work form really focuses on like what they offer. So their different offers, the process of that. Because oftentimes people they're like, well, I don't know how it works. So I'm like, well, yeah, you do. It's in your head, you know, like you just have to write it down and then I can go from there, you know? So there's two pieces. I set up their business side and their offer side. And then with ClickUp, the lovely thing is there are templates involved. So I am able to actually upload some templates, but then customize that into their business and make some few tweaks and changes, which has really helped. Like they get the benefit of something that they didn't know that they wanted or needed. And now they have it. And it also doesn't take me, 6 hours to build custom every single time. So I've been able to like streamline some different areas of it. But when we're talking like their actual offers, those are custom to them, exactly how they do it. And I build out a system in ClickUp for them to manage it with their team. Or if they're on the verge of hiring, I set it up to where somebody could come in and either manage ClickUp for them or support them, whatever they're looking for. And all of those questions are in my pre-work. Like I even have a question in there, like, how would it feel if someone managed your ClickUp for you? To kind of gauge like how their brain is working of like, okay, should I set it up in a way that they're going to take over all of this? Or maybe they're wanting someone else to take this over,
That's helpful. Yeah. That's a great question to ask. And, I think that those like questions that you don't really like, you think about, okay, what do I need to know for the project? But also you're going like even a layer deeper of like, okay, how I set this up, should it depend on how the CEO's brain works, or should it depend on like how somebody else in the company operationally is going to be managing this, which is really great. And I think again, great strategists, great operations people, like those are the layers they think about that other people aren't going to think about. They're just like, and that's what they do is they open up ClickUp or Airtable or whatever they do, and then they just start like putting things in there. And like, they don't actually think about how am I going to use this? Like, how is this going to help me with X, Y, and Z? They just start putting information in there. And that's like not, we're grateful that you are wanting to use the tool. However, that's actually not going to serve you, right? Which
exactly. I actually just had that conversation yesterday.
I'm sure
we're doing a VIP day in September because she literally said to me, she's like, well, ClickUp's just kind of like housing things for me as like some informational stuff. And I'm like, but what about like, she has a virtual assistant too. And I'm like, but what about like these pieces that she could take over? She's like, oh, well, I just kind of just do it since I'm there. And I was like, no. I was like, we are overhauling this.
I'm sure that's every single VIP day of yours is like, why are you just copy pasting stuff from Google Docs into here?
Yes.
Like, what is even happening?
Yes. Yes. So it's fun. It's so much fun because I get to like, utilize I love that ClickUp is so versatile, and that's why I chose this tool. Because I get excited about it. I get like, oh yeah, I get to do this or I get to do that. And I get to show them like different things I've done. And like their face is like, oh, I want that.
Totally. Yeah. And I love too that you pointed out that operations is creative. Like it is. And I think even as I will say, I guess as an ops person, when I first started, like I had like a weird relationship with the word creative because I picture creative as like painters or branding people or things like that. But then when you really actually get down to it, like ops people are super creative. Like they are just like exploding with here's 17 ways you can do the same thing. Like that's creative work at its finest. So I love that you pointed that out. And with that, how do you get your VIP Day clients? Because you do have other products, I will say, and whatnot. And so is it similar clients that just want you to then take a template they've bought and build it for them? Or is it a completely different client? Would love to kind of hear how that all like flows together.
Yeah. So I would say they're 90% of the time they're completely different. So my templates and course really speak to people that are newer in their business, that don't really have team members, that are really just trying to get organized, and really just trying to make sure that they are, not utilizing their email as a project management tool, or, back and forth with clients of missing due dates and stuff like that. Whereas the people that come in for a VIP day, they usually are like to a point where, like I said, they have 1 to 2 team members. They're at the point where they're making money and their business growth has gone so far that they're like, oh no, I don't know what's happening. Like it just, everything exploded. And that's always happens in online businesses. They just explode overnight and you're like, what just happened? And
Figure it out.
But I'm very heavily on Instagram, and so I think a lot of people find me through there. But also, there aren't a ton of people that offer what I offer, and so people actually find me a lot through Google search, just searching through Google of ClickUp templates or ClickUp setup or different stuff like that. I have seen in my intake form I ask where they find me, and a lot of them actually say Google, which was surprising. So maybe
are you like an SEO expert? Like,
nope.
Love it. Got to do it. It's fine.
No, I think that it's not a big topic of, oftentimes people say like, well, systems aren't sexy and they're boring and all this kind of stuff. But I think for systems people, it actually kind of gives us a little leverage.
It does.
In the marketing space. So, but yeah, I would say I have a lot of conversations in Instagram DMs about, if it's a good fit for them and that kind of stuff. And the process is we just jump on a call, just to make sure that it's good for them and good for me. I always like to still vet them too, to make sure that their expectations aren't, the moon and stars, when clearly I can't give them the moon and stars in 8 hours.
Yeah. Totally. I'm very similar in that way. And I think too, just, it's nice to have a gut check, a pulse, on just values, on how they communicate, things like that, just because, and on my side too, because I'm a very direct communicator. And so someone is going to feel, I don't want to say the word offended, but just like, because I'm not going to be like spending a lot of time in like the fuzzies and feel goods, is that going to bother you? Like, is that not going to feel good for you? And that's okay, because I mean, especially a systems person, but really in a lot of industries, like so many people need help with the work that we do that if it's not a right fit with this person, there literally is there's so many more people that can use
Yep.
your expertise that it's just one more person away, right? So
Yep.
so I love that you touch on how you also vet, it's important for both sides for it to work. And it's okay if it doesn't, you can move on
Yep.
from that. So I'm going to go with the last question and have you share kind of what your biggest tip, lesson, takeaway is for somebody who is maybe thinking about VIP days, is a little nervous about trying them for some reason. What would you say to them to let them know if it is yes, you should try it, or no, it may not be the best fit for you?
Yeah. So I'm very like fast action taker type person. So like my biggest tip is like Nike's tagline, just do it. But I know that doesn't work for everybody. I think it's really important to figure out what you want out of your business. And if you sit with that and you realize that, like, yeah, I do only want to work, a few days out of the week, and I want to really focus my efforts in like super productive, focused work time. And I want to be able to have the freedom that everybody talks about, then yeah, you should really consider VIP days. Like I scaled down from working 30, 40 hours a week down to 20 because I offer VIP days and I don't have retainers and I can focus, very clearly on serving people that need me and doing the VIP day. And that's it. And so I think it's important, like I said, to just maybe sit with that for a little bit and really decide what you want for your business and where your growth is, like if you want to grow or if you don't. And if you like where you're at, then maybe you stay. But if you feel like something's missing or that you want more or that you're sick and tired of feeling like an employee, that was a big one for me. You're sick and tired of, like having to have a nanny come for your kids multiple days out of the week or those different things, then maybe you should consider a VIP day.
Yeah, I love that. I do think that that was similar to me too with retainers, was that even though technically I'm an independent contractor, right? There sometimes can be this unrealistic expectation or even illegal requests being made
Yep.
where you're having to battle this. I'm in control of your time, but like they can't technically be in control of your time. But then how do you
Yep.
combat that without losing the contract? And it gets really weird and wonky and messy. So I agree with you. That was a similar thing that I experienced too. So where can everyone find you and connect with you and learn more about your VIP day, or just again, maybe referral partners, biz besties, all the things?
Yeah. So I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok as Kaci Ackerman. And then my website is kacieackerman.com as well. So just all around, search Kaci Ackerman, you'll find me.
Cool. Are you the only Kaci Ackerman?
I think so. I've searched myself before and nothing else comes up.
Nice. Oh, I'm so jealous. I thought my name was rare, and then somehow a Mexican wrestler is also named Jordan Gill,
What?
and so I'm literally fighting Google with a Mexican wrestler. It's fine.
Oh my God.
It's the internet. What can you do? But anyway, it was so lovely to get to chat with you and to show you off and have more people know about you and your services and your VIP day. And we will see y'all next Tuesday with another awesome guest showcasing their VIP day. So thanks again, Kaci. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me.